A quote from Brandon he's at stress level 0 now, but at the time it was through Node. I remember hearing him talk about it. Was, in order to come up with ideas, you need to sit down and have like thinking time, trying to come up with those ideas, but you need to also be ready for not getting anything in that time slot, and then randomly, whether you're showering or eating, an idea will come to you. I know it's a pretty annoying piece of advice that it will come to you, but I mean, thoughts, what are they? They're magic in your head. And the second I have an idea of whether it be a character or a interesting plot device or even just an interesting setting, what I'll do is I will write an entire opening chapter. I will see where it goes, kind of just sit down at the keyboard and just start writing and let it take me. By the end of the first chapter, I know whether this will be an entire book or if this is simply a vertical slice of a story. I have a few of those vertical slices just sitting on my drive, basically, and I like them as short stories, but I don't think the story, at least for my interest, would go the distance. I also grab inspiration, like everyone else, from all the media that we consume. For example, in this new book I'm working on, the villain and another side character sort of have a back and forth needing each other, and I got inspired by rewatching the Chris Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. How Joker and Batman essentially need each other to survive as like a toxic relationship, basically. And kind of after that, I let the characters in the story basically consume me, where if I'm interested enough where I'm writing a second chapter, the book will be finished. And basically nearly every waking moment, I will be thinking of that, of how the story's moving, where it will go, the characters, why they are who they are, what led them to become who they are, any general themes that I want in the book, or at least that I'm going through in the moment. So, watching Dan Houser on Lex made me realize I do a similar thing, in that where we are in our lives dictates a lot what goes through our writing. And I think it's subconscious, some conscious, depending on the day. And this book that I'm reading a lot has to do with faith. A lot of my books actually have to do with faith, and essentially dealing with grief and trying to become better through it all, and even through like horrible circumstances, and as well as dealing with the idea of the divine and sort of our purpose in life. That is the theme across a lot of my books, mainly because I have those same questions and I'm kind of working through it as well alongside my characters, and it is super interesting and makes the writing process way more engaging when I have characters asking questions that I myself am asking, and I get to dig deeper on what those answers may be.